Okay, how about now? Awesome. Okay. Hello, Rob. Hello, Amy. Hello, Thanatos. Everybody else. Hello, Spizario. Welcome, welcome. I am Spacey Batotelli. I am a bat and a game developer, and I've been quite busy this week. I've spent most of it flip-flopping between making the cutscene viewer for Freedom Planet 2's latest patch, and I have been preparing things for my formal debut. Yeah, I haven't technically debuted yet. I had a soft debut last month. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this new design. I can't wait for things to happen. I just have to wait for people I want to commission to make the commissions open. And then we'll see what happens. Then I can get a tentative debut date put together. You may call me TZ for short. Okay, TZ. That's fun to say. Yeah, today we're just gonna chill with some tea and chatting. Today I have a cinnamon blend with a drop of honey, of course. Oh my goodness. You're here for the creature, the flappy hanging thing. I bet you are. Hello, Sleepy. I must profess, I have been feeling kind of strange lately. I don't know why, but when I eat literally anything, I get a little nauseous and sleepy. I don't know, I just feel funky. But, I've still been plugging away at work things, so it hasn't really affected my work output. I just kind of feel it when I'm not doing anything. City time. Oops. Yeah, I like my gothic teacups, but this time I've got a mug. I can fit more tea in it, and it's got a lid on it so it can stay hot for the whole stream. I have a question. Are all the FP1 level locations visible on FP2's map? You can pinpoint all of them, yes. I mean, of course, Battle Glacier is in the same location as Robot Graveyard, and you can see the pillars from Relic Maze on the map that Dragon Valley's on. And while you can't directly see places like Fortunite and Trap Hideout, I can point them out on the map. I remember posting an image way back when the maps first were created, like the new maps. I remember posting an image that showed where all of the Freedom Planet 1 locations were. And Pangu Lagoon, it wasn't in Perusa, but like it's on like a remote location, like in the distant outskirts of Shangtu. Howdy folks. Hi Rizal64. Thank you for stopping by. We're just chatting today. How do you get into the Battlesphere VIP room? You need to meet Thunder Lilling. She's the only NPC left. The VIP room is inaccessible. But yeah, I forgot that there's no other place to meet Thunder Lilling, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Oh yes, we have new channel point rewards, and one of them has just been redeemed by Rob. For 1,000 points, I will say a Freedom Planet fact. Okay, let me bring up. Okay. Did you know? In Freedom Planet 2, if you count character-specific variations of each cutscene, there are over 170 cutscenes in the game. this doesn't include radio conversations. Yeah, like the original Freedom Planet has like 30 cutscenes. And like I know that the Freedom Planet 1 cutscenes are a bit longer, but it just like goes to show how much bigger in general Freedom Planet 2 is, that it can have so many cutscenes and it not being as big of a deal. Also, thank you for the ear scratches. IQQQ. Thunderling is hiding under the truck. Yeah, I got another point redeem where you can scratch my ears. That feels nice. Does Freedom Planet 2 have outtakes like Freedom Planet 1? It does not. The voice actors were too good this time. Okay, Paige somehow let herself into the backyard without me opening the door, so I gotta duck out and catch her. She's fine. It's fenced in, but still. Okay, I'm back. Paige. Yeah, it's sometimes when the dogs don't want to come inside the house just yet, I have to either go out and be like right next to them before they'll follow me in. And other times I have to bribe them with treats. They'll always come running if I ask if they want a treat. I really like the cinnamon tea. It's not too strong, but I can still taste the sweetness. Okay. Let's see. Let me catch up. Can't imagine that being pulled off in Fusion. Oh my goodness, no. 170 scenes in Fusion, that would like break it. Oh yeah, Fusion does have a add-on for Lua scripting, and that really expands what you're able to do with it. Like, honestly, if you really wanted to, in Fusion, you could just use ClickTeam Fusion as a wrapper for a Lua-based game. Like, you could code your entire game in Lua if you wanted to, and then that does tend to make things go a little more smoothly if you're familiar with scripting. You just like completely bypass ClickTeam Fusion's event system and the limitations thereof. Freedom Planet 2 Pokédex will never be finished. Sorry. But we did account for that with the NPC achievements, so you don't need to talk to every NPC, not anywhere close to that, in order to get the badge for it. Yeah, the enemy roster is largely robots, but there is some fauna. At least my voice is doing better now that I have a ample supply of tea for these streams. What kinds of fauna live on Avalis? Well, in the original game, there are pigeons, like regular pigeons in Fortune Night. And of course, fish is a staple diet among Avalicians. Most Avalicians, who would otherwise be meat eaters, have a pescatarian diet, which means that they eat vegetables and stuff and plants, but they also include fish meat, but no other type of meat. Even the water dragons, which are basically fish people, they eat fish as well. When the dragons first arrived on Avalis, did they bring other races with them? I assume you're referring to the Earth Dragons. No, it was just them. Sushi for everyone. Yeah. Not just sushi, but like cod and haddock and shrimp and clams. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting to think about like the lore subjects like that. Oh yeah, I bet there is pizza. Like, the team and I were kind of like debating like how exactly they would make cheese and where it would come from. Cause like, in the real world, cheese and milk comes from cows. And I've heard that there are like alternative sources of milk, like coconut milk and soy milk. I think that would be like the main source. And of course, there's kind of an Easter egg that pokes fun at that in the gallery. In the Lost Lock exhibit, Mila has specific dialogue. Try to avoid spoilers. Oh, right, yeah. That's a good idea. They mine the moon for cheese. Moon cheese. You like to think that sushi is delicious enough that it eventually exists in every universe. It's hard to be a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think there are certain, like, universal favorites. As far as, like, food goes, and of course, like, certain types of music, and certain types of pets. I did kind of joke around in the past about, like, the possibility that literally every planet in Freedom Planet's galaxy has cats on it. Salmon size? Oh yeah, I love salmon. I just like how it breaks up. It kind of slices itself into its own bite-sized pieces. now is fueled by cheese. Really interesting types of cheese out there. Yeah, there is. Caerphilly cheese. I tend to my go-to cheese tends to be cheddar, because it just makes a really good dip for like tortilla chips and stuff. And it also makes good filling for like tacos. Like my mom and my mother and I like to make homemade crunch wraps, like the kind they have from Taco Bell, but with like all natural beef and stuff. It's so good. Oh my goodness. What happens when someone takes a group photo? What do you mean? I don't follow. Oh yeah, I like provolone too. Provolone I find is very good on sandwiches with like heated elements, like meatball subs and like oven roasted turkey, that kind of stuff, like toasted sandwiches. I like provolone for those, and then for cold cuts, I like Swiss cheese. Oh yeah, group photo. You might be talking about the badge achievement for Freedom Planet 2. The easiest way to get it is in the Hero Battle Royale. Like, as soon as you're able to pause, just pause and then take a photo, and then you'll get the badge. Oh, feta cheese. I've had that a few times too. It's nice. You live in Quebec, where there's a lot of unique cheeses. Your favorite is probably Oka cheese. I've never tried Oka cheese. I want to try it sometime. Oh yeah, tomato soup. Yeah, I like I know that grilled cheese sandwiches are a staple with tomato soup. I'm not a fan of grilled cheese. I think that's too much cheese for me. It helps if there's ham in the grilled cheese sandwich, and I think that balances it out a little bit nicer. Thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you so much. Thank you, Slex. Enjoy your gifted subbies. You can get emotes and increased channel points as well. Yeah, there's also a badge for just taking any photograph. The photographer badge. That used to, the original plan for that actually was to make it so that you had to take a photo with a boss as it was exploding, but to run the checks would be overly complex because we would have to check for every type of boss in the entire game. To be on screen. So it seemed a little excessive, so I just pared it down to just taking a photograph. Sippy. Well, you can check for animation names in Unity, but the problem is that the boss death animations are not tied to the Unity animator. They're tied to their own individual states, and you can only check them if you cast to the type of the specific boss, and every boss has their own class to check. Oh, thank you, Rob, for the stretch reminder. Hold the pose. Okay, nice. Well, bosses do tend to inherit from enemy classes, but some bosses have weak points, and the weak points are what inherit from the enemy class instead of the boss itself. So it was just gonna be an ordeal. It would be possible. It would just take a really long time just for a simple badge check. Impressive rigging and quite a cute and cool design model. Oh, thank you, Ashzilla. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Let me zoom out for you so you can see my full outfit. And thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, I can flap my winglings. And I can fold them as well. I've got some nice kicks. And some floofy pants. And of course, a turtleneck sweater because it's fall now. Sweater weather. I can sway my hips. Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of working on an entirely new design because I haven't technically had a formal debut yet. But I'm going to have a brand new design, and I want to commission a bunch of people once their commissions are open. No date on when I formally debut. It depends on how things line up, but I would like to, either in like late December or early January. It'd be really cool if I could get it done by early January, because then I could do the whole like Mega Man month that I'm planning in my new form. Yeah, I'm gonna... January is gonna be a thing called Mega Manuary, and I'm just gonna play through all of the mainline Mega Man games. Like, it's gonna be all Mega Man that month. The series means a lot to me, so I think that would be fun. It's been a huge source of inspiration to me over the years. Pants remind me of Shantae's. Yeah, Shantae pants. I don't really know what to call the specific pants that I have. Because I looked up like the flare pants, and like they're called harem pants usually, but they have like a different shape, whereas mine are basically just like regular pants, but they have the flare at the bottom. How's the work been going for you? 1.16 release aside. It's been going good. Our pace is more controlled now and steady. But we're still working on things in the background. And it'll help a lot once we get paid for the first time for our sales on Steam. Then I can start paying back people that I owe money to, and I can help my mom with a few things around the house, and I can start putting money into some new projects that I want to work on as well. Yeah, lots of fun stuff lined up for Galaxy Trail. First boss takes double damage when it's in ball mode. That's by design, because that boss has 2 weak points, and they both overlap each other in the ball mode. So if you're good, you can get double damage in. If I were to make a boss in the context of FP2 that is some form of fauna, something like a rhino, T-Rex, or mythical creature, what would it be like? There's a few bosses like that, but they're like robot fauna. Yeah. But if you mean like a boss that actually is fauna, I'll have to give that some thought. I think maybe it'd be like a giant fish. Oh, thank you for the artist suggestions, S-Lax. I will keep those in mind for later. Okay, for mainline Mega Man games, I want to play through the classic series. Like 1 to 6, and then I'm gonna start playing the X series, and then after I play like the first 3 X games, or 4 maybe, I'll go back to the classic series and play like 7 to 11. I'm gonna hold off on Battle Network and Star Force until another time, maybe for the January after this upcoming January. You notice there's weird devices in my ears? Are those fancy earbuds? Oh, yes, they are. They are fancy pants earbuds. Not only do they suppress noises that are a bit too loud for my humongous ears, because they're quite sensitive, but they can also be used as regular headphones, and they can assist in echolocation. And I think they look nice. They have nice contrast. Been a while since you've touched a Mega Man game. Been meaning to try 11 eventually, but you've sunk the most time into 10. Oh yeah, 10 is amazing. Absolutely incredible. Like, 11 has less content, but I do like the new, like, spin on the formula that 11 introduces, and I hope that they expand on it in the future with, like, a Mega Man 12. Oh yeah, Mega Man Legends too. I almost forgot about that one. I also really like the Zero series, Mega Man Zero. I've only played the first ZX game and part of ZX Advent. Did I participate in the Make a Good Mega Man Level 3 contest? I did not. I was knee-deep in Freedom Planet 2 work at the time, so unfortunately I had to duck out. But I'm very curious to see what it's like. Like, it got something like over 160 entries, whereas Make a Good Mega Man Level 2 got like 80 or something. Oh my gosh, that is a lot of levels to go through. Console ports, they're coming along. We are still getting our contractual stuff squared away that we can't publicly discuss. But it's in the works. Yeah, echolocating creatures would have very sensitive ears. It pairs well with it, with the ability. Because it'll help them pick up the sound waves from longer distances. Thank you for the ear scratches. Thank you, Rose. Feels nice. Oh yeah, a giant spider would be creepy. They are, oh yes. Yes, of course, Rose. My ears are acceptable pet zones. For friendos. I think eventually I want to get like a giant brush that could be like behind my head, and then there'd be a reading where like people could brush my hair. I think that'd be nice. Skipping on the later X games. I don't know. Maybe I can play through them for posterity. But I do want to play at least up to X4 for the first Mega Manuary. I have played X5 and X6. I have not played X7 or X8 yet. So that might be an interesting experience. Good tea. Oh yeah, the wasps. They're another non-robotic enemy that is quite infamous in the Freedom Planet series. Oh, thank you for the hydration reminder, X-Scythe. I shall take another sippy. Will I be playing Sonic Frontiers? I'm not sure. Like, I do kind of want to play through this, the main Sonic games in order, like with Mega Manuary. But I don't think that'll be until June, because June is when Sonic's birthday is. So I could play some favorites before then. And then maybe I could like make Frontiers my first one that I play on stream. Just because it's going to come out real soon. I don't know, think about it. If I do play Frontiers, it will be the first 3D Sonic game that I've actually like played in earnest since Sonic Adventure 2. It's been that long since I've like really committed to a 3D Sonic game. Oh, hi Alex. Hello. Hello, friend. I'm so proud of Alex. Her and her partner just released a collectible card game called Beautiful Monsters. Right now it's just in a store in California, and it's also for sale online, but I bought one. I'm so excited. It looks like perfect aesthetic for the Halloween season. The effort that goes into getting those fantastic curls every morning, though. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, my new design that I'm working on does away with the curls. Unfortunately, they are just super high maintenance. And like, especially if I want to fly around, it's quite easy for them to get tangled up and stuff. So I really need like a new hairdo that like has a pin in the back of my hair to like keep stuff at least kind of tidy. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to show my new design. I've thought about maybe having like a sneak peek of the sprite, of the concept sprite for it. If I reach a certain number of followers, like either on here or on Twitter, or like, I don't know, I'll have to give it some thought. I love your turtleneck look. Thank you, Alex. I must admit, this feels a lot more me. I love turtlenecks. The best I know wearing striped sweater all the time. One with a collar, turtleneck. That's the kind. You don't know much about Make a Good Mega Man level, but I think you remember someone implementing 7 Force, one of them. Yeah, I remember that stage too. That was really neat. I believe that was made by, what's his name? Davwin. Yeah, right. Really nice fellow. One of the judges. Like, traditionally in the Fortress stages of those fan games, it's the judges who make the stages. And they have some interesting ideas. It makes you wonder what they would have placed if they were, like, eligible to be involved in the contest. Oh yeah, there's also Mega Man X Command Mission. I forgot about that too. From what I've seen of that, the character designs are really interesting. Especially like the new armor for X, it looks really cool. But it's kind of interesting how it's basically like a turn-based RPG instead of an action game. Been a rough week health-wise, but you're still kicking. And that's good to hear that you're persevering. Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm in kind of a funk right now where, like, when I eat solid foods, I feel, like, kind of nauseous afterwards and really tired. I don't know what's up, but it's not too bad, it's just kind of annoying. Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know if I have a stomach bug or if it was something that I ate a few days ago. Because my mom did make some spicy chili with like a lot of cayenne pepper in it. I don't know if maybe that kind of disrupted my stomach a little bit. Because I've heard that like people who take those like hot wing challenges where it's like where they eat like hot wings with a sauce that's like millions of Scoville units, it really like messes up their stomach for a while. But cayenne pepper isn't actually that spicy, so I wouldn't be surprised if it disrupted my stomach, but the chili was quite spicy compared to what I usually eat, so maybe that was it. Oh, thank you, Lilith, for the stretch reminder. Hold the pose. Nice. You made it through the week. I'm wishing you a relaxing weekend with lots of good health benefits. Yeah, I agree, Alex. Hope you will feel better soon, S-Lex. Congrats on the release. Thank you, Anne. I assume you were referring to us. What games are on the stream list? It still would be nice to be able to play Luigi's Mansion, but I still need to figure out the setup for that. Like I'm still new to this. Like I have a capture card now. I got the one that Alex recommended for me. I just gotta figure out how I can find room on my desk for for the game consoles and stuff. But fitting my Nintendo Switch on my desk shouldn't be a problem because it's compact. So that's good at least. I can at least play Nintendo Switch games soon. It's okay if you post a link, Spacey Bat. Absolutely. You can go ahead and post a link to your card game. I think it's still like one of the best-selling card games on the website that it's on, so that's really cool. With Frontier's heavy focus on combat, that begs the question, do you think Sonic can take Lilac and friends in a fight, either one-on-one or as a group? Oh, yeah, no contest. Especially if he has access to Supersonic. But it's kind of an interesting question. It's kind of like similar to like Superman versus Goku, where Sonic is the Superman type who is like basically invincible as Supersonic, but has like emotional limits. Whereas Freedom Planet characters have more like physical limits, but less emotional limits. They are quite a bit more determined. So I don't know how it would work out, but it'd be pretty interesting. I have gotten that question quite frequently in the past, and I tend to be cautious about how I answer it because like you always have those power level type people who will endlessly debate in support of who they want to win. But it's fine. It's just interesting. Yeah, Alex's card game is on drive-thru cards. I do know of Project 06. I think what I want to do, at least on stream, because I have played Project 06. I like it a lot. But I think what I want to do on stream is play the original 06 first, and then play Project 06. Do kind of a comparison to see how things are different and stuff and what they've done to improve it. And I want to do the same thing for the fan-made mods for Mega Man X5 and X6, because there's rebalancing patches out there. I haven't actually played those, but I'm very intrigued by some of the gameplay tweaks that they've made. But yeah, I want to, for every Mega Man game I play, I want to give like a detailed analysis when I'm done playing it, kind of like a review of sorts, like an informal review. I think that would be fun. You mean Capcom also forgot about Command Mission? Yeah. It does seem like Command Mission would have sweetened the deal for to get Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2. Because as it is, Legacy Collection 1 has so much more to offer quality-wise with its 4 games. But I do have both, because they kind of just give you the second one. If you were to take Freedom Planet into new genres, where would you go first? That's an interesting question. I think it'd be fun to do like an arcade puzzle game featuring some of the minor NPCs. I think that would be really cool, and I think maybe it could be something that I could collab with Ashley on, since Ashley is quite adept at making unique puzzle games. But yeah, that way it doesn't kind of like get mistaken for one of the mainline Freedom Planet games. And like a racing game would be really nice too. I have pondered the possibility where if we ever take Freedom Planet to 3D someday, our first 3D game could like be a racing game like Sonic R, where you're on foot, and you'd have most of the abilities from Freedom Planet 2, but they would each have like mobility secondary uses to them. I think that'd be pretty neat. And then we wouldn't really have to focus on programming like lots of enemies and bosses. Except as like stage hazards or background decoration. Glad you're okay, Spacey. Your poor tummy. I hope it passes soon. Thank you, Alex. Another sippy. Good cinnamon tea. Moist. You dare bring that word into my lair? You must be disciplined. As someone who deals with stomach issues on the regular, I know that pain all too well. Yeah. Thankfully, it doesn't really happen that much. It could kind of be a bit of a funk from the seasons changing finally. So, I'll give it a few more days and see how it goes. And my mother is very much into like holistic medicine and natural remedies, so if I don't get better, she's got me covered. Saw someone almost passed out from eating a very, very spicy sauce. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm not privy to that challenge anytime soon. Yeah, I got the cup card. What was your first reason to watching an FP1 speedrun? I like speedruns. Ruffles. Ruffles! I will do my best to ignore that. Okay, yeah, I just like watching speedruns in general, even before I made Freedom Planet. It's a nice pastime. I always enjoyed just like sitting at my computer desk, sipping tea or munching on a snack and just watching like a speed run where somebody blazes through the game in like 15 to 20 minutes or even shorter. I think my favorite speed run ever is like, it was one of the Game Boy Advance Castlevania games. I can't remember if it was Harmony of Dissonance or whatever, but they played through the game as a secret character, and they just like clipped through all the walls and got to the final boss in like 12 seconds and killed him. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I'll have to share some of my favorite speedrun clips sometime. Oh, your card game's still in the top 10. Awesome. Yeah, like the day it came out, it was like number 3. That was really awesome to see. I'm happy for you, Alex. Mega Man mods. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting like fan hacks for like classic Mega Man games, especially the NES games. One of the more intriguing ones that I've wanted to try is like the Burst Chaser series. It's basically like the same game but with like different layouts and stuff, and like the main gimmick behind the Burst Chaser hacks is that Mega Man moves like 2 or 3 times as fast. Very interesting. Open world Freedom Planet. That would certainly put the freedom in Freedom Planet. Oh, an RPG. That would be interesting. Lilac dashing in 3D and pinballing into space. Yeah. Okay, but if you do a Sonic R-like FP game, the entire soundtrack needs to be a love song? Absolutely. Like, just like a racing game in general. Like, any racing game that I make, I really, really want a soundtrack with lyrics. Because all of my favorite racing games have, like, lyrical soundtracks. It just makes it so much more memorable. And it'd just be so much fun. Oh yeah, the Zero project for X3. That's a good one too. I really like that. It's so cool that they just made Zero like a fully playable character. When in the original game, he's just basically a power-up. Like a one-time power-up you can use. How often did you run into days where you just flat out didn't feel like working on the game? Quite a bit during the pandemic. It was a frequent thing. Like, I was in a very dark place. Back then. But thankfully, my mental health improved over time, and we were able to pull ourselves together, especially with the support of the community behind me. So I'm grateful for that. Oh, Freedom Planet Office AU. I'm suddenly reminded of Retsuka. From now on, all of your donations are going to be synonyms for moist. Go ahead. The synonyms for moist aren't as bad as moist itself. How do y'all like your speedruns? More glitch-based or movement-based? I like both. I think both are impressive on their own merits. I do feel like for glitch-based runs, you kind of need an explanation sometimes for what's going on to truly appreciate what's happening. So at a glance, like, I think movement-based feels more impressive. Speedruns with Spacey. Yeah. I can't wait for, like, more Freedom Planet 2 speedruns to be out there, and for the runs to be, like, more optimized. They're already very impressive. Oh my gosh, I can't wait until we get into games done quick. I'm not sure when it will happen, but it seems like an inevitability because, like, I've been told that the staff of Games Done Quick are, like, unashamedly huge Freedom Planet fans. So I guess it's just a matter of when the speedrunning community for the game can submit a satisfactory run. I can't wait. Sippy time. I'm so glad this mug has a lid. It would be like ice cold by now, otherwise. Oh yeah, Super Mario 64 speedruns. I'm very impressed by how well that game has aged. In terms of like the movement tech and stuff. It's always fun to see people like break the game apart with like mind-bending like physics stuff. Like the infamous watch for rolling rocks with 0 A presses. Yoo-hoo! 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 The history of Mega Man 2 world records? I'll check that out. Thank you for the suggestion, TZ. Thank you for the scratches. Thank you, Event Horizon. Feels nice. Oh gosh, I'm so far behind. Yeah, we've got a Blaze emote now, Alex. In the Freedom Planet 2 style as well. How are things going? Oh, thank you. Hello, Event Horizon. You've probably been here for a while. I'm just, lagging behind on chat, but it's going well. I have mentioned earlier that I have kind of a stomach bug right now, but I'm doing okay. I just feel a little funky. Oh my gosh, yeah. I bet so many people would lose their mind if a Freedom Planet 3D game came out someday. I hope that will be the case even if it's something like smaller scale, like the aforementioned Sonic R-type racing game. Yahoo! Backwards long jump. I genuinely love the backwards long jump glitch. Like, just the way it makes, like, Mario freak out with his vocals and stuff. And just, like, the whole, like, logic behind it. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of really, like, fun glitches I remember from, like, Elder Scrolls Morrowind, too, that I always exploit when I go back and play the game. I want to do a Morrowind playthrough sometime, and it's going to be a pacifist run, like a true pacifist run. I would want to play this mod for it called Morrowind Rebirth, which is like a total rebalancing of the game. And I wouldn't even be allowed to, like, have other people kill things for me. I would have, the main goal behind it would be for me to see how far I can get in the game without being responsible for any deaths. I think that'd be a really interesting concept for a stream. Freedom Planet fighting game. You know, one of my goals for the art style for Freedom Planet 2 was, what if a platform game had, like, pixel art at the same at like the same fidelity as, like, a classic arcade fighting game? And I think we succeeded. Like, I think you could literally just take the sprites in Freedom Planet 2 and put them into a fighting game, and it would just look so good already. And I think there was, like, a fan attempt to, like, make a Freedom Planet fighting game in Mugen. I'm not sure what happened to that, but it looked kind of neat. Personally see Freedom Planet working better as a beat-em-up. I could see that too, yeah. Like a beat-em-up, like, revolving around the red scarves. Yeah. That'd be super fun. Yeah, Rivals of Aether. I haven't played that yet, but it looks really cool. Like, especially, like, the modding community for that is, like, insane. So there's so many characters that, like, just feel like they belong in the game, even though they were made by fans. And it's really cool how the developers actually, like, incorporated some of the better, like, fan-made fighters into the game officially. I got a really big kick out of that. And the sequel looks so good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't wait to see, like, I haven't played the games, but I just love seeing, like competitive matches with it. And I can't wait to see the same with the sequel. Hack and slash. Oh yeah. That too. Like, assuming that we can find a good, like, cast of characters in the Freedom Planet universe that would use, like, weapons for hacking and slashing. It's amazing how Rivals 2 looks, even with how much time in the oven it's had. Oh my goodness, yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, multiverses as well. Like, I heard that the only reason multiverses even exists is because of the Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme. That's really interesting. Rivals 2 and Framemakers. Framemakers is kind of weird, I must admit. Like, the best way I can describe my feelings about Framemakers is, imagine if Super Smash Bros. Ultimate swapped its fighter roster with its assist trophy roster, and that's Framemakers to me. Like, there's some assists in the game that feel like they really should be regular main fighters. And, like, the fighting roster itself, like, I think there's, like, 5 characters right now or something, or 6. And 4 of them are aquatic creatures. It seems a little off balance. But that's just my personal opinion. It could change once I actually get my hands on the game. I guess it depends on, like, just how useful the assists are in combat. Sippy time. Oh my gosh, yeah, like Crag being an assist. And, what's the name of the girl from Crosscode? But she's an assist too. But I really think she deserved to be a fighter. All of the base stuff feels like it's just meant to demonstrate what users can do with the tools you get with the game. Oh, okay, so it's being made with mod support in mind? So if that's the case, then I could see people like actually turning some of the assists into fighters on their own. So that would be pretty cool. I could see that being the case with like Freedom Planet characters. Like somebody like making their own Lilac if she doesn't like get into the game. Hi Leah. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. We're just chatting about games and stuff. Mod support is the main draw of frame makers. They're literally shipping all the same tools they used to make the game. Oh, you mean like the source code? Or like they made the tools first and then used the tools to make the entire game? Because that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I bet like they know, like it's inevitable that like people are gonna put Smash Bros characters in there first. Oh, not the source, but like the GUI editors for making stages and animations and movesets and such. Nice. I wonder if it will be the kind of thing that even kids can get the hang of, like a kind of like a maker type game. Probably a little more complicated than that, but I could see it being a good jumping off point for people to learn how like fighting game characters are designed. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, makers, frame makers. You would adore official mod tools for Freedom Planet 2. Yeah, like the main obstacle to official mod support for Freedom Planet 2 is the terrain system that we used. It's like a polygon-based terrain system that's similar to what like some of the later Rayman games used. I'm not exactly sure how to translate that in a form outside the game that is still like acceptable by the developer of the terrain system. So yeah, it's kind of complicated, but basically what it does is it takes like a node path and creates a flat polygon out of it and then puts the terrain texture on it. And it does the same with the surface, like the surface that you walk on, because there's two parts. There's the fill, like the fill of the terrain, like the inside part, and then there's the borders. Like the borders are that as well, but like a lot more complicated so that the slopes can be smooth and stuff. And supposedly that doesn't play nice with like the usual modding tools that people use for Unity games. So I'm not sure. Gonna have to figure something out. But I have seen some scripting mods for the game so far. Like there's a mod that just like re-enables Lilac's wing gliders. Like they were already programmed, fully programmed in the base game, and the mod just turns a flag on, and then she can use them again. But I do think they're still kind of janky. But yeah, I openly welcome Freedom Planet 2 mods. It's absolutely no problem. As long as the mods aren't like malicious in nature, like in terms of software. Was amazed at how FP2 handled 3D rotation with such with polygons. I know a lot of Sonic fan games these days stick to tile-based collision because it's easier to predict. Yeah, we actually did start with tile-based collision in the very first demo of Dragon Valley, but we upgraded to the terrain system quite early on, and I'd say it was a very good call. It made certain levels a lot easier to construct than they would be otherwise. And I could see the tile-based thing being an option for like fan-made levels in the future, where they just kind of like where it just kind of bypasses the terrain system altogether, and you just like make your own like tiles with your own polygon colliders. So that could be one solution, but I'm not sure how practical it would be or how many people would be devoted enough to invest that much time into making custom levels. But it would be really impressive if it happened. Shangmu Architect type. Yeah. And Shangmu Architect is looking so good. Like every time Lily comes out with like a new feature, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I like how it's kind of turning into its own thing. That's kind of a blend of both Freedom Planet 1 and 2, instead of strictly trying to mimic the first Freedom Planet. I think it's really cool. We did not make the terrain system from scratch. It's on the Unity Asset Store. It's called Fair 2D. Ferr 2D. Very useful. I'm very glad that we bought it. Yeah, Unity has a ton of modding options. Like, I really don't recommend making a game just with Unity itself. I really would recommend getting a few things on the Asset Store. It does cost extra money, which is disappointing, but there's quite a few assets that I would say are very essential depending on the kind of game you're trying to make. Fair 2D, that takes you back. Nice. Yeah, like, it's been around since we started Freedom Planet 2, which was back in 2015. Yeah, I am looking into Godot Engine as well for future projects. I'm very interested in trying it out and see how it compares to Unity. The main thing I'm thinking about right now is like frame rate, because Unity has this weird like delta time system that can cause skipped frames even on systems that should be able to handle it. And that's something that some people have experienced with Freedom Planet 2 and have like complained about. And like for the kinds of games that I enjoy making that are so fast-paced, having a silky smooth frame rate is very important. So that's one of my main things that I'm going to be looking for when I try Godot, to see how they handle that. And if it's smoother, then I might try it. I've also heard that later versions of Unity also fix it to some degree. But I've also heard that versions of Unity past 2018 kind of like have some not so good changes. But I'd have to see for myself. I'm gonna do research. Godot 4.0. Yeah, I heard that they completely changed their framework recently. Because one of the game developers that I follow on Twitter shared a screenshot of how their game just completely broke after the upgrade to the new version. But it's looking good, and it seems to be. It looks like it's getting better and better, like with every update. So I might jump in, and it also helps that Godot Engine has a couple of mascots that were designed by Tyson Tan, and they just finished 3D models of them for like tutorials and stuff. It's so cool. Godot 4 is coming up soon. Oh, okay. Godot has delta time and fixed rate processes side by side. Awesome! Does our main FP cast have hobbies outside of world saving? I know that Carol would have like hobbies with like biking and stuff. And Mila, of course, has her alchemy. And like she's very studious. She got quite the education just before Freedom Planet 2 started. And Lilac, I'm not sure. I imagine she does have hobbies. I just like really haven't considered it before. Let's see. Godot 4 is coming up soon. I played with the recent beta build, and it's a huge step up over 3. A lot of love and quality of life features. Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely try it out. I've also heard that there's a new like Sonic Worlds engine in Godot. Because the original Freedom Planet is based off Sonic Worlds in Click Team Fusion. But I guess they've moved over to Godot now. So it'd be really cool to check that out and see what that's capable of. And if it could be used for any like future like Freedom Planet spin-offs or anything. Also considering getting Grapple Force Arena, probably through itch because I assume you get a bigger cut there. Yeah, we do. I really appreciate it. And of course, Ashley appreciates it as well. I think it's a good game. Like, it's a little on the short side. That's the main like point against it. But like, it has so much love and charm put into it. I really enjoyed playing through it and helping it come to life. Originally, Grapple Force Arena was going to be like a webpage project where like it was kind of like a mix between a webcomic and like a flash game, where like each page of the comic on the website would be a different level of the game. And then like one day, Ashley pitched to me an idea of changing it from that comic book style format into just like a full standalone game. And I was happy to oblige. The project looked really nice and Ashley was super nice. And we've been close friends ever since. Yeah, Fontace was experimenting with porting Dunker to Godot 4. I still gotta play Buck Up and Drive. It looks so funny. Wondering if games made in Godot are moddable. Interesting. I bet with Perseverance somebody could make modding tools for them, as long as it's not done maliciously. Lilac has a very, very nerdy hobby like stamp collecting. You know, dragons do have a tendency to hoard things. I wonder what her hoard would be. Hobbies being the coolest. I'm the coolest. I love the emote shadow with the sunglasses. Nira left out of the conversation, confirms 0 hobbies. You know, I did kind of have like an idea that like Nira would maybe be like a closet fashionista. Like she'd be super into fashion and like trying different clothes and stuff, but she's really embarrassed about it, so nobody knows. But if she ever got really close to someone, she would kind of like take them to her huge walk-in closet, but pretend that she's like taking them to be like punished or thrown in jail or something. But like she opens the door to her walk-in closet and then just turns around with the biggest goofiest smile on her face, and then the person that she's showing it to would be like, oh no. And then she's like, never tell anyone. Sippy. DLCs for FP2? I'd be more inclined to do content updates. I just think that's less of a hassle. And it means that everybody who bought the game already would get that content for free. And it would also be a good way to entice like more people to buy it in the first place, but we're not thinking about that right now. We're just focused on polishing what we have. And then maybe like once we port to consoles and we've got like the new language options and stuff in, we can think of other things that we might be able to add. Ninja Herc is very funny. Oh yeah, I bet they were huge. I bet Lilac and Carol were huge Ninja Herc fans back like before the first game. So hypothetically, if the other girls were to get a permanent upgrade in a similar vein to the wings, what would it be? Your thoughts personally were different gears for the bike, specialized equipment for Carol, some form of alchemy for Mila, alternate effects for Nira's frost arts. Good suggestions. It would be interesting to have like a different type of bike for Carol. Like her dream of a solid gold motorbike would finally come true. But it's more like it has gold trimmings instead of the whole motor being gold. As for super for Mila, maybe she could have her her scrapped like wrestling outfit, and then be able to use like multi cubes just by guarding instead of having to collect the power up for him. That might be cool. And Nira, yeah, she could have like ultimate like frost arts, like a screen clearing blizzard attack, or turning everything on the screen into ice cubes instead of just the enemy she's targeting. A Metroidvania with Corey, that would be interesting. Thank you for the scritches. Thank you, Anne. Feels nice. Oh, you love my shadow voice? Thank you, Alex. Probably knitting. Yeah. Someone, I don't know if it's the main cast or supporting cast, but somebody has to have knitting as a hobby. I bet one of the main four would really like cooking as a hobby. And be like actually surprisingly good at it. Yeah, she has a reputation to uphold. Spade's hobby could be cooking, maybe. Yeah, gold bike hype. For me, Nira will always be the best. Nonchalantly grinding on rails sealed it for me. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Nira too, because she was my 100% original creation. And I just love how much she adds to the group dynamic with her like deadpan nature and like her being like the serious one. Like the only sane girl of the four. It's so fun. And I just like her ice powers. They're so much fun once you get used to them. There is kind of magic in this world in Atlas, but it's kind of like magic technology, where like it's kind of like a super advanced technology, but it's not like really like explained how it works. And Nira's staff is an example of that, as is like Mila's cube powers, and of course Lilac's dragon boosting, and of course the physics quirks of Carol and her motorcycle, like with her being able to climb ladders with it and ride walls and hang on hang bars while holding the bike just with her legs. Mila cooking. I bet Mila would be good at cooking specific things, but if she tries to go outside her comfort zone, it's just completely awful. Just kind of like some of her alchemy experiments that are liable to like cause explosions. Or maybe like she could cook something that causes a violent explosion, but then it ends up turning out to taste really good anyway. Oh yeah, Spade might indulge in like fashion on the side. He could have like a bunch of like K-pop style outfits. And maybe he could have like a hidden talent for singing. But like he has like a cool and suave personality to uphold. And he doesn't feel like his singing voice goes with that. So he just kind of keeps it to himself. Mira knows how to bake, but only in the sense of icing the cake. Oh, nice. I like how that rhymed too. But that's a good one, Alex. I like it. Mira. Oh, we got another Freedom Planet Fact redeem. Thank you again, Rob. Okay, Freedom Planet Fact number 2. Did you know General Serpentine's name is never spoken once through the entirety of Freedom Planet 1? Of course, during the sequel, he'll never let you forget it. Yeah, that's actually just something that I just recently realized. Like, nobody ever says his name. Poor guy. But he does make a name for himself in the sequel. Perhaps Mila's cooking abilities could be passed down from her parents. Oh, that's an interesting thought. With like a slight hint of tragedy to it. Psychic powers could be a thing in FP setting. Yeah, especially if they're like amplified by devices and stuff. With the exception of syntax at one time. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh well. But it's still an interesting fact that it's only said that one time. One of your favorite things about Freedom Planet 1 is that Mayor Zhao's title is always spelled out. Yeah, it's always spelled out as Mayor Zhao with Shangmu. He's so self-important that he breaks the fourth wall in that fashion. Yeah. Serpentine means first name. What if his first name is just General Serpentine? Geoff Serpentine. Nice. Plus 5% title length. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with the plus 5 gags with bringing those back in Freedom Planet 2. When you heard Spade's singing voice, yes, Kazuma Kiryu. Oh yeah. I could see him trying to pull something off like that because it's like the coolest he can make it sound. Either that or like he's wonderful at singing love songs, but it's not cool. So he tries to sing like heavy metal or like rap lyrics or something, and he's just terrible at those. There are some who call the Magister Tim. Yeah, the Magister does have a normal name. It's just been so long since he's used it because he has to go by his formal title. It's okay, Kiryu mostly sings love songs too. I figured. I haven't played any of the Yakuza games. But, like, I have enough friends who are absolutely crazy about Yakuza that I get the basic gist of it and why it's so beloved. Just from how much they gush over the characters and stuff. His name is Tim Tam. Timothy Tam. Timothy Tamjuri. I think you'll love them, Spacey. I'm definitely one of those friends. Yeah. You're one of the Yakuza fans on my timeline. Yuppie is one of the Yakuza fans on my timeline. Onsta is one of the Yakuza fans on my timeline. And I think there's like 2 other people too. So when the news broke of that Like a Dragon game that's gonna come out soon, there was a lot of screaming on my timeline. If Edwin's been saying the truth this whole time and wasn't just making a joke, I'm gonna freak. Oh my gosh. I love Edwin's joking around, especially because like he just likes messing around with like fans who don't understand what he's saying or if it's canon. Like I can tell he enjoys like mixing people up about whether or not what he's saying is just joking around or if it's actually true. Like the whole meme in like the GT Discord server that he started where the Magister is actually 5 rats that are like stacked on top of each other. do any of them do any of them oh, sorry okay okay, do any of the reelers have any personal friends they can I'm sorry. Okay. I'll read your question properly now. Alright, okay, let me try saying it zippy first. Okay, do any of the rulers have any personal friends they can be casual with? I think so. I think there's one of the guards that Mayor Zhao can be casual with. And, like, I assume that's the same case with King Dale and his guards and the Magister and his guards. Although, I think the Magister would only be casual with, like, Gong and Nira, since they're, like, the 2 highest ranking members of Shang-Tu besides him. And since the Magister, like, by his title is so shrouded in secrecy, I don't think he would trust his guards to see what his face looks like. And, like, honestly, I think he would trust Dr. Tovlov as well. I think Tovlov would be the one to take care of him when he's sick. And, like, has to, like, keep his mask and robes off in order to be treated. So yeah, I think he trusts Dr. Tovlov the most. Currency of Shang-Tu is Tim Tams. I love Tim and Tam Von Biscuit and want to hug them. Nice. Yeah, Onsta. I like her a lot. Her streams are such a delight to watch. Like, we're only, like, vaguely acquainted with each other. I've only like, talked to her a few times, but I like her a lot. She's so friendly and, like, cheery, and it always makes me happy to pop into her streams and just, like, say hi and see what she's, like screaming about, like, fangirl-wise. If the Magister is the grandson of the former Magister back in Wars, then it is Princess Cordelia his aunt? Okay, let me think. So the sister of your grandfather, would that be your great aunt? Maybe. You caught the end of the stream, yay. Hi, Syntax. Hi, Syntax Sundre. Welcome, welcome. Oh, wow, it's already been 90 minutes already? That flew by. Game Victim did a marathon of the Yakuza games before release, and you were there for it? Nice. Oh my gosh, imagine if the first time I played a Yakuza stream, I had like 2 or 3 of my friends in who are like obsessed with Yakuza. And like they would just be like fangirling over everything that's happening while I'm playing. That might be fun. Do you have any intentions of answering why Syntax and Pengu are the same model? No, not yet. But it's kind of interesting. They're kind of like a Mario / Luigi sort of situation where they were basically palette swaps in the first game. But you can tell there's some visual differences in the sequel with like their detailing. And of course their voices sound very different now. So it'll be interesting to see how much more they split from each other in future games. Oh, thank you, Alex, for the hydration reminder. Alright, we'll sippy again. Oh, Magister, not Edwin. Okay, I get it now. Oh. Some of the plot stuff that appeared in the plot, you thought he was joking? Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, I appreciate how effective he is at throwing people off as to how the plot plays out until they actually play it themselves. That helped avoid a lot of spoilers before the game came out. Oh yeah, he posted that thing, that document, showing the unused dialogue for like an email system that the game was originally gonna have. In practice, I felt like it was gonna be too clunky, so it didn't come to pass. But there's still some really interesting dialogue in there. And thankfully its omission didn't really hurt anything, other than perhaps Timmy's true nature. the shy little bear in Shuigong. Love that you did put the phrase, "Oh no, he's hot" in the game, by the way. Yeah! Oh no, he's hot. Magister ASMR, but you're just staring at a picture of him for 2 hours. Nira already has enough of cool father figures with Gong already. Pun intended. Yeah, Dr. Tovlove is a play on words for tough love. Oh yeah, the time flew by like a bat with wings. You made an entire spreadsheet to determine the average height on Avalis. It's 5 feet tall exactly. Awesome! That's really interesting. Yeah, we have like a specific unit conversion for how much 1 pixel is, height-wise, in Freedom Planet 2. And it's really cool to see everyone like measure each of the NPC characters. Sure, we'll learn all about it when we go to space. Spades. When Spade goes to space, it'll be called Spades. S-Lax sends purrs from Nelly. Yay! Hi, Nelly. Give her the pets for me. Nelly is S-Lax's kitty cat. Lowe's raisins. Yeah. What's really interesting is that originally, raisins were going to be the favorite food of Corazon. But we eventually learned that raisins are, like, toxic to cats. So now she, in the final game, she loathes raisins as much as her sister, Carol. You've got a burning question. Which of the playable casts in FP2 has the highest score in Fists of Frog? Huh. My instinct is Carol, but I think Nero might be a closet Fists of Frog player. I choose to believe Lilac is 5 apples tall. If the apples you're referring to are 12 inches tall each, those would be huge apples. Yeah, like, there are some NPCs that are taller than Lord Brevin, but, like, Lord Brevin is still massive. I think he's, like, 8 feet tall or something. Especially when you compare his, like the mock sprite of what he would look like in Freedom Planet 2, if you can compare that to other characters. Like, and if you include his eyebrows. Carol vs. Nero face off. Oh my gosh. Like, if Fists of Frog ever had, like, a multiplayer sequel, Carol and Nero would, like, just go at each other. And I can imagine it, like, if it's, like, an anime or something, the anime would open with, like, those speed lines in the background when anime characters are doing cool stuff. You'd see Carol, like, it looks like she's charging forward and screaming, and then Nira does the same thing, but then it cuts to them, like, furiously tapping buttons on the 2-player arcade cabinet. And they're just playing the game. I'm gonna destroy you! Not a chance! And then they're just pushing buttons with the stereotypical, like, 80s 8-bit arcade sounds. Do you have any musicians you'd want to work with? Ooh, tough question. Yeah, like, I've been collaborating with Woofle for so long that, like, I never really thought about what other, like, musicians that I'd love to collaborate with, but there are quite a few. I really like Sean's work on Grapple Force Arena. And I think he also composed a few songs for Pelcrash. And I really like oh, what's his name? Who did the music for Pelcrash. But he's got a very diverse composing style as well. Oh yeah, Jake Kaufman. Oh my gosh. I love Jake Kaufman's music. Massive bangers. Like, even though I'm not, like, that crazy about the Shantae series, his music is just so good. Oh my gosh. Mighty Switch Force 2, like, his music in Mighty Switch Force games makes those games for me. Oh my gosh. And he has a diverse style too. Oh my gosh, I'd love to work with Jake Kaufman. Fist of Frog 2 has a high score screen, but it's built by Carol and Nira, who are just trying to one-up each other, yeah. And Carol would put swear words as her 3-letter high score name, and Nira would always use her full name, like her first, middle initial, and last name. Because she's proper like that. She's a proper lady. She uses her formal initials only. Oh, yeah. I haven't talked to Woofle in a while. I hope she's doing okay. She seems to be. But, like, I'm always down for composing music with her. She's been an amazing colleague and friend. Nira's middle initial. I'll have to think about that. Speaking of swear words, is stones an actual expletive in Atlas? It is not a swear word. Like, it's not taboo. But it's kind of their stand-in for, like, oh my god. Or, like, God. Instead, it's, like, stones. Because, like, they worshipped the Kingdom Stone for so long. That it just kind of wove its way into the Avalician tongue. Ah! Yeah, you get the idea, real person, of what Carol would type in the high score. Gareth Coker has excellent music as well. His work for the Ori games is phenomenal. Yeah. Nice atmospheric music. It depends on the project. I tend to lean more towards melodic tones, like retro games do, kind of. But it might be fun to go for a more atmospheric style sometime. And of course, my dream soundtrack for my dream racing game would be like video game music, but it has campy lyrics. Kind of like Initial D, I suppose. Oh, thank you, Syntax Sundere, for the stretch reminder. Oh, I'll hold the pose. Running in the 20s. Yeah. Nice. Everybody's super lilac racing. Nice. And I think some of the songs would have lyrics that have absolutely nothing to do with racing. Just like complete nonsense just for the heck of it. But most of them would involve like racing and speed and all that jazz. Yeah, I can and it'd be cool to like work with like different like vocalists for each track. That would be really neat. Eurobeat plus whatever drugs they were taking when they composed the Sonic R soundtrack. Yeah. Would you ever abandon the pixel art in favor of illustrated artwork for Freedom Planet? Kind of like Hollow Knight. That is an interesting thought. I think I would experiment with that more in like side projects, like spin-off games, because I think that will come more naturally. Like the mainline Freedom Planet games are known for like having like specific conventions and styles. And like we could deviate from that a little bit, but like I think if it's too much, then it might come across as weird to some people. I don't know. We'll have to experiment. Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up your day? Oh yeah, atmospheric. That's a bit like how Shovel Knight did more portrait-style things in the arcade game they did, whereas the normal games are pixel art. Nice. Quite tempted to try running Freedom Planet on a CRT to see how that old tech treats it. Unfortunately, there's no letterbox option for the game, so you'd have to have vertical bars on the top and bottom. But I have seen a screenshot or two of Freedom Planet running on a CRT, and it looks quite nice. Mark Morgan's Fallout stuff is pretty neat. Also, his soundtrack for Zork Nemesis. Oh, interesting. Zork as in based on the old text adventure. Racing game, except one of the worlds is racing Brevin on a syntax-infused buggy because he stole your husband. You're Mila's other dad. What? Okay. Yeah, like, it might be fun to have, like, if we, like, for this hypothetical Sonic R-style Freedom Planet racing game, it might be fun to have, like, side missions where, like, you're not racing anybody, but you have to get to a location as fast as you can. And, like, pick up stuff and bring it to other locations or whatever. Like, maybe in, like, one of the city tracks. Like, the mission would be that you'd have to pick up food and then deliver it to somebody. As, like, a side job. And like, even though it's a racing game, there could be like a hub area, kind of like Diddy Kong Racing, where you can just run around and explore and practice your moves. Side mission where you play Mila and have to escort your potion back to your lab before it explodes, yeah. Or you have to, like, refrain from using specific abilities because they'll make the potion explode. Nice. Yeah, I do like the idea of having, like, spin-off games someday. Because not only would they not be, like, 7-year endeavors, like Freedom Planet 2 was, which the shorter timeline would make them a lot easier to manage. But it would also give us a safe space to like experiment with wild new concepts without the expectation that is inherent with like a mainline Freedom Planet game. So I'm very interested in the idea of exploring like spin-off titles. But of course we want to focus on porting Freedom Planet 2 to the consoles first. But we could throw some ideas around among the team and see what sticks. Do you think you'll be using Freedom Planet 2's engine for other projects? Uncertain. But it's nice to have the option. Feel upset no one's brought up CTR? Oh, yeah, I didn't play the original PlayStation one, but I did play the Nitro Fueled version on PS4, and I quite enjoyed it. A lot of charm. And it's really interesting how they approach the more technical like aspects, like the way they handle like drift boosting, the way they do. Honestly, I was just thinking it was going to be mostly its own unique plot, and then discover it's related to FP, lol. Oh yeah. Interesting. Hi Paige, what do you want? Paige has approached me. Hi Paige. Paige. She's doing that thing where she's standing at the door of my office and she's wagging her tail so hard that her whole butt is wagging. So she's in wiggle butt mode right now. So I think she wants something. Hey Paige. Where you go? Where you go? What? Hello Endurify. Welcome, welcome. We are approaching hour 2 of my Chatty Batty stream, where I'm just like chatting with people and talking about the kinds of games I want to make in the future, and about plans for my formal debut at an unknown time. It'd be cool if I could do it like by early January, because in January I want to do like a Mega Manuary event where I stream exclusively Mega Man games for that month. I think that'd be fun. And also, one of my doggies is asking me for something. I don't know what it is. What do you want? Hey, push girl. Oh. Come on. Okay. Pretty Paige is now on my lap. Oh, pretty girl. She is now licking the base of my microphone. Welcome to the lap zone. I don't usually let her on my lap. Cause like, she's a small dog. But she's just big enough that it's kind of awkward with her sitting on my lap at my computer desk. But every now and then I'll spoil her by doing my best to make it work. She's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and like they're considered the largest of the toy breeds. So they're just shy of being like considered a medium-sized dog. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was my Windows 3.1 ding sound. That is on my Windows 10 PC. I just replaced the normal Windows ding sound with the Windows 3.1 one, just for the heck of it. Yeah, I didn't know they were considered toy breed either when I first looked them up. But yes, they are considered a toy breed. But they're so big, I don't understand why they're considered toy breed. Like, they're just a bit smaller than a beagle. Most of them, at least. Some of them are smaller than that. Yeah, nostalgic thing. Pretty girl. Yeah, she is getting the pets. I'm petting her for you all. There are toy breeds by virtue of them thinking they're smaller than they are. Yeah. Like, honestly, I think, like, Paige, at least, thinks that she's bigger than she is. Because she's just, like, so relentless with her barking. Like, Sammy only barks if someone is physically approaching our driveway. Paige barks at the wind. She'll bark at anything. If there's a weird noise in the backyard, she'll yap her head off. If there's somebody walking across the street in the distance, she'll start barking. Yeah. You're so naughty. You're so naughty, Jordan. You're so naughty, puppy. Yeah. Not much into dogs, that's fine. I wasn't really into dogs for a long time. Because, like, I was kind of left heartbroken when I was a kid. Well, a teenager. When we had a golden retriever named Pooh Bear and a Pomeranian named Rocky. And they both passed away within, like, a month or two from each other. And after that, my dad and I were, like, turned off from dogs for the longest time. But sometime around 2016, I just got an overwhelming desire to have a dog again. And that's when I adopted Sammy. And then I'd say like 3 or 4 years later is when I adopted Paige as well. They've been the best dogs ever. Oh my goodness. I love them so much. And I can tell that it helps my dad a lot to put a dog back in his heart. Consider an Appalachian Sphinx. Oh, that would be pretty neat. Like in the style of Green Plant too. Cats have always been your comfort creature of choice, but you've actually grown more into dogs because your girlfriend has a dog, Sona. Nice. Yeah, I love cats a lot too. My last cat, her name was Minion. I named her that like a decade before minions were a thing. Just to be clear. But yeah, she was a short black kitty. We adopted her from a friend of my sister way back in the year 2000. And like days after we adopted her, like the rest of her litter had gotten really sick with something and they all passed away. So we just kind of like saved her from that fate. But yeah, she made it all the way to 21 years old before she passed away. She passed away last year. But yeah, she lived a very fulfilling life and she passed away peacefully in her sleep. Yeah, I didn't take her with me when I moved out of my dad's house. Because I think the stress would have killed her. Because she's been in that house her entire life, so I left her behind. But she still got plenty of attention. But yeah, she passed away in her sleep, and then her ashes are on the mantle of the dining room. So she can continue being a part of the house forever. Yeah, she was a trooper to make it to that age. You have a dog named Jai. He had a sister, Mila, white with black spots. But she was given to another family. They could not feed both. Oh, nice. Very nice. I still think it's so cool and adorable that Mila's voice actress named her dog after the character. Mila Moo. Her dog's so cute too. It's like white and fluffy. Oh, Daphne's cat passed away too? Yeah, I think I remember it. I remember hearing about a death in his family, but I didn't know it was his cat. I'm sorry, my condolences. Your family's last cat, Georgia, lived to like 18. Ripe old age for a cat. Very nice. Yeah, it's always heartwarming when they're able to live that long. Supposedly the lifespan of my dogs, like the breed, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, is like around 14 years. So hopefully we have many more years together. I know that someday they're going to make me very sad, but it'll be worth it for how much they've given me. Oh, thank you, Rob, for the hydration reminder. Right, sippy time. Yes, bless the fallen. Do people in Avalis have pets? That's an interesting question. Because, oh, the pose. Thank you for the stretch reminder, Essa. Yeah, that's an interesting question because there are a lot of otherwise pet-type animals that are sentient on Avalis. So I'm not sure. I think there would be pets. I'm just not sure what they would be. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting question. Yeah, we'll have to think about it. They can have pet rocks. Yeah. Or like virtual pets. Sort of like Pokemon. I wonder what Chloe even does with all those gems. I assume what ferrets usually do with shiny things. Collect them and hoard them. But of course, she does spend them on things. Like, how else do you think that she is able to travel so frequently from Shuigong to Parisa? I bet she spends a lot of money on travel tickets to get people to buy her things. Oh yeah, Mila has a pet stump, technically. I think it's so cute that she like, uprooted Mr. Stumpy and replanted him outside of her house. And it's not like he's a dead stump either. He's got leaves growing on him, so eventually he'll probably be a full-size tree again. He just has to start over from scratch. That would be really interesting if there's like a Freedom Planet plot in the distant future. Because like Stumpy in Freedom Planet 1 did not have leaves. Stumpy in FP2 does have leaves. And I bet by the time of the third game he'll be a small tree. Oh, pet snakes. I mean, Yang in the Battlesphere lobby does mention that snakes are dumb. So maybe people do have pet reptiles. Oh. Monster taming, yeah. Pet moths! Pet moth. Pet moth. I love moths. They're so fluffy and cute. I feel like I've said this before on a previous stream, but like, my mom and I have a bug zapper to deal with the mosquitoes in the summer, but we don't really feel like using it because moths can get into it. And we don't want to kill the moths, we just want to kill the mosquitoes. Mr. Mr. Stumpy is gonna be so strong when he grows up. Oh my goodness. It'd be so funny if, like, we made it to, like, 4 or 5 Freedom Planet games. And, like, by the time of Freedom Planet 5, Stumpy is, like, massive and actually plot relevant in some way. Mila accidentally makes a messed up tree from a weird potion. Yeah, maybe. Oh my god, what if Mr. Stumpy grows the girls a new tree house? Ah, that would be cool. That would be super cute. What was the inspiration to make Prusa the Furry Philippines? Our associate producer, Dawn M. Bennett, is half Filipino. And we were just kind of like brainstorming plot stuff for the sequel early on. And we noticed some really cool parallels to what we were writing to, like, some aspects of Philippine mythology. We felt like it just, like, fit like a glove. So it was really cool to have her guidance in that regard. And I really like how we were able to incorporate, like, the myth of Bakunawa, the Moon Eater. And it was super fun. Like, one of the times that I went to Texas to help with recording stuff, she took me to like a Filipino marketplace, and we had this dish called pancit, which is like these super thin noodles with like yummy meats and vegetables and sauce. I loved it so much. I've only had it that one time, and I still think about it all the time. I want more pancit in the future. Yeah, Filipino cuisine is super yummy. And that's also where ube comes from, like ube desserts and stuff. I want to try ube desserts too. I haven't tried it yet. I've heard it's quite good. Aquariums. Yes, there are aquariums in Avalis. There's one in the gallery, actually, in the Nosalaka exhibit. Stumpy becomes a Rhoda tree. Yeah. Man, Mila would be a whole adult in 4 if each game is 3 years apart. Oh my goodness. That's so cool, and you didn't realize Dawn was in that position in the game too. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, she's the associate producer. And she was the one in charge of, like, helping organize things on the voice acting side. So she appointed Alejandro Saab, also known as Sayu, as our voice director for the project. And then he directed all of the voice actors as they recorded their lines. And of course, Dawn herself was able to, like, check in on a team every now and then to make sure that things are progressing. Yeah, I really, really liked working with Dawn in, like, more of a production role this time. Mr. Stumpy being like a weeping angel, only moving and doing fantastic things. Nice. You know, if I ever was a tree, I think I'd be a weeping willow. I like weeping willows. Because they're so big, and, like, they demand so much space, kind of like I do in real life. And, like, a single weeping willow, it has enough shade for, like, a whole, like, picnic set. It's too bad that we don't have the space for it in our backyard. And we're already in a forest anyway, so I guess it's not really that necessary. Yeah, could the treehouse be added in a future content update? Well, that's an interesting thought. I mean, we'd have to design it and draw it. I don't know. Well, it's something to consider. Oh, pancit. Have you had pancit, Alex? Ube. Yeah, chow mein is really good too. That's a Chinese dish. Have you seen Roger Vander Wide's Freedom Planet parody yet? I have seen that. I did see that like quite a few years ago. I enjoyed it. It's pretty funny and cute. Dawn has made some great improvements since the previous game. She brings some really strong emotion to Lilac. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Like, some of Lilac's lines in the game, I get literal goosebumps. Even now still, after I've heard them dozens of times. Especially her speech to Murga near the end. Oh my goodness. Uploaded a video with puppies to your Discord in the media section. Okay. Awesome, thank you. I'm sure the rest of the Galaxy Trail community will appreciate it as well. We also have a good critters channel specifically for posting like cute animal photos and videos. Weeping willows are strong and super pretty, just like you too. Oh, Alex, you flatter me. Thank you. There's a Filipino place there called Sari Sari that used to have pancit, as well as many other incredibly good dishes. Oh, that's awesome. Also, Paige is growling at me because I am ignoring her. No. No. Paige. Keep your paws down. I don't want you scratching my chair. It's mesh. Oh, you meant FP2. Yeah, yeah. Oh wait, no, he did one for the sequel. Okay, I'll check that out later. Yeah, like, I suppose this is another like Freedom Planet fact that I should have saved for the channel point redeem, but did you know that there was going to be a side quest in Freedom Planet 2 to restore Lilac's treehouse? It would have required its own system of like saved variables, like in the save files, in order for progress to be carried over. But the fox in Singing Water Temple, I can't remember his name. Wallace. Wallace was going to be the one who started the quest. You'd ask him about the treehouse, and he'd refer you to Foreman Mun in Shuigong, and then you'd talk to Foreman Mun, and then he'd assess the damage and give you a price quote, and it'd be like an outrageous amount that you wouldn't be able to pay at that point. So you could either like pay the amount later or get the extra labor that he's asking for. And then you'd go to Lilibeth in Perusa and ask her if she wanted to help rebuild the treehouse. And then she would oblige after you do something for her. Yeah, it's just like a quest chain. So that was the original idea. We had to cut it because of time constraints. And because of like the extra work that would have needed to implement the quest system. Because there's no other like traditional style quests in the game. Yeah, it would have been something like 200 gold gems or something. Murga's voice acting was your favorite? Oh my goodness. Morgan Berry goes hard into Murga as a character. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really adore Murga's lines. Oh, you've had a pancit in the past? Yes. I want to have it again once I take that trip to California that I really want to take. Oh, thank you, Thanjosino, for the Freedom Planet Factory team. Yeah, I suppose the treehouse counts for that, because I'm behind on chat. And thank you for the hydration reminder. But, what the heck. Treehouse one didn't really count, so I'll do another Freedom Planet fact. Okay. Did you know? During Freedom Planet 2's final months of development, we liked to joke that Murga's line, "Your suffering will be a masterpiece," was referring to the dev team. Thank you for the scritches. Thank you, Slax. good. But yeah, that's like one of my favorite Murga lines, actually. Your suffering will be a masterpiece. So good. Can't imagine paying that on top of completing the gallery. Yeah, I think that was another reason why I wanted to axe it, because there's nothing at that point in the game that really tells you that you have another option besides paying the high price. And I didn't want to have players save up for that in addition to saving up for everything they need to do in the gallery. So yeah, if it does come to fruition, I think it would be in a different form than what we originally thought of. Lilith made your bisexual heart burst. You are looking disrespectfully. Oh yeah. Whew, she's got quite the body, huh? And like, I don't usually like accept like character designs like that in my games, but like that her body type is just so uncommon in video games that like I just had to let it slide. We need more buff women. Like super buff bodybuilder type. Strong girl's pretty. Yeah. Yes, if any game devs for some reason end up listening to this, please add a buff woman or two into your game. I promise you'll get fans. How do I use more than 5 potion parts? The achievement says 5 or more. Oh shoot. It's not supposed to say that. I guess I forgot to change it. Cause that's another Freedom Planet fact. Originally, it was going to be possible to expand the number of potion and item slots you had. But we didn't really know where to put that on top of everything else. And we also had concerns about the game just like completely breaking if you just stacked the same potion into like 10 slots instead of 5. So it would take some adjustments, but we could still make it work someday, maybe, if people are interested. Murga screaming is your favorite joke within the fandom. Yeah. Should agree that line really matches up with my attempts to defeat Murga without getting hit. Yeah, absolutely. And just like the first time fighting her in general, I imagine is going to be very difficult because you have 6 different forms that you need to memorize the attack patterns for. So it's quite a challenge, but with perseverance, it is quite possible. And personally, I would consider her a bit easier than Brevin overall. Where did I get the idea for Murga's name? We were looking up lunar and astrology terms when we were coming up with various concepts for the game early on. And we just kind of like rearranged one of the terms that we came across into Murga, and I think it sounds cool. Buff women, period. Just not in video games. Yeah, absolutely. Variety is the spice of life. It's just more fun, like, at a glance, looking at a cast that has, like, a variety of body shapes. Oh yeah, Alex, you have buff women in your card game, right? Hehe, nice. Non-buff powerful women, Sailor Senshi. Murga and Cordelia. I wonder where the idea for that romance came from. It's cute. I hope we get to see them get together someday. Yeah, it just like... Cordelia originally was just like separate from Murga and was just like a means to like bring about the truth of what really happened in the past. But it just felt right to have them be in a relationship. Like, them being in a relationship added more depth. Like, it made each of them better. Like, it added more depth to their characters. I mean, isn't that how relationships are in general? Like, two people just, like, make each other better. Oh, that's a good idea, real person. Capping out each individual potion at 5. But expanding the potion slots so you can have more than one maxed out potion. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I'll pass that along. Thank you. Want to break the game with 5 and 5? Yeah. Who wouldn't want 2 bad dragon ladies together? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, oh, sorry. I mean, it's not really technically a spoiler. Like, technically, there are 6 forms, but, like, you'll find out why once you get to that point. Sorry. I keep forgetting that there are people here who have not, like, played the game or played it to its entirety. Yeah, I'll be more careful about spoilers later on. Was Murga's full post-battle cutscene supposed to play in classic mode? Yeah, that's kind of a limitation right now. Because we can't really figure out how, like, a version without dialogue would play out yet. But it's fine, since it's the last cutscene in a game, and since classic mode assumes you've already played adventure mode. Hopefully it's fine. You did joke that Lilac found Murga and she works in the Battlesphere now. You just randomly see Murga behind one of the merch booths wearing a Thunderlilling hat. And Lilac's like, Murga! What are you doing here? And she's like, I'm not Murga. I'm, oh, what's a funny name? Funny female name. I'm Delilah. Delilah Runback. Oh, I'm Durga. Ah. She's Agram. Oh, that's a good one, yeah. I'm not Murga. I'm, Agram the Masked Merchant. Woo! Paige, why you growling? Why you go growl at me? That's a hilarious mental image. She doesn't like Agram. Oh my gosh. Paige. Okay, oh, it's 4:20 here. Nice. Wow. This is the longest I've ever streamed, I think. Awesome. But yeah, Murga, not Murga. Paige is, begging for my attention right now, so I'm gonna give her some pets and loves and maybe a snacky before dinner time. So, I am gonna call it for today. Thank you, everyone. I've had so much fun today catching up. I should have another schedule up, by Monday. It might be another light one. It depends on how my stomach is doing, in the next few days. But we'll see. And maybe I could do something fun with the concept art for my new design. Like, maybe I could, like, reveal it after a certain number of followers or something. I'll give it some thought. Oh, sorry I can't answer your question, real person. But I'll try to remember it and then answer it next time. Paige, please, just one more minute. Just one more minute, okay? Oh my god, sorry. I pushed my seat back accidentally and it rolled over her paw. Let me see. okay? You okay, honey? Okay, she's fine. Her tail's wagging and she's now licking my face. Don't scare me like that, okay? You okay? Okay. Okay, yeah, she's fine. Yeah, like, that'll happen sometimes because Sammy and Paige like to be under me all the time. Especially when I'm in the kitchen and they think they're being fed, but I'm actually just making lunch or dinner. And they're just all over me, and I have to be very careful not to accidentally step on their paws, because they're like right next to me as I'm walking around the kitchen. Oh, they're now wrestling. Can you hear it? Doggy wrestling. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she gets wound up sometimes. But yeah, like, sometimes they'll yelp really loud, and we didn't really step on them, but we did, like, touch their paws, and it kind of, like, scares them, because they think they're gonna get, their paws stepped on. But yeah, we gotta be careful. But it's fine. Usually, most of the time, they're just being drama queens about it, and they don't actually get hurt, so that's good at least. That gives us a lot of relief when it happens. Oh my goodness. Super doggy wrestling. Yeah, I still want to have, I still want to get like a Sammy cam that I can turn on and put in the corner of the screen so you can see them and you can see me pet them and stuff. I think that'd be fun. Okay, yeah, sorry for the false alarm there. Okay, now I shall dip out and, tend to whatever Paige was growling at me about before. Everybody super doggy wrestling. Gotta get your paws, right on his face. Your brother's face. But yes, thank you so much, everyone. I had so much fun today. And I shall keep you posted on my future streams. Thank you so much for stopping by. I shall bid you adieu for now. Bye!